A report indicates that clever children are drawing on fake mustaches to bypass online age verification. A creep was caught with his pants down, making sweet love to a trash bin. And a ramen-loving grandmother is buried with her favorite cup of noodles. These are the weird stories on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast hosted by a comedian inside a closet. I got 3 bizarre news articles, as we say in Boston. I got some bizarre articles. Let's go. A study shows that clever children are drawing on fake mustaches on their faces. Fake mustaches to bypass online age verification checks. Verification. How about that? We got millions spent on age verification systems defeated by a child with a crayon. Amazing. If my kid did this, I wouldn't even be mad, to be honest with you. I'd be like, good job, buddy. Way to get creative. Creative problem solving, we call that. Children are drawing on fake mustaches and entering fake birthdays in order to bypass online age gates and to access social media and certain gaming platforms. This is according to a new report. The report yielded some data. It found more than 1/3 of children in the UK have found a way around age verification measures implemented as part of the Online Safety Act, which requires that all pornographic sites, all social media, and online platforms likely to be accessed by children to check their age. Wow, I'm surprised that it's only 1/3 have found a way around. I mean, because some of these are really easy. They just, you type in a birth date, type in your birth date. Really? Okay. I mean, there's a bunch of websites out there who think I was born in 1901. They don't even question it. I mean, how hard is that? Now here it says social media websites usually require children to be at least 13, and users of pornographic sites must be over 18. The new research suggests 1 in 6 parents have helped their child to get past these age verification checks, with children reporting, quote, tricking platforms into thinking that they are much older than they actually are. Parents also said that they caught their children drawing on facial hair in a bid to evade the technology. One mother said, I did catch my son using an eyebrow pencil to draw a mustache on his face, and it verified him as 15 years old. Well, that's weird. I mean, if the system sees that there's a mustache, coming back with the age of 15 seems a little off. I think these whole systems are all ridiculous, run by buffoons, it would seem to me. In other news, I would like to tell you all about the new fake mustache and beard business that I'm going to be starting. So we're offering fake stashes and beards to anybody who needs them for whatever reason. Pubes, too. We're working on pubes. If you need pubes, I don't know why you would need some fake pubes, but maybe you do. All right, let's jump back into the story. I had just covered how the mother caught her son drawing on a mustache. I actually prefer a Sharpie. I use a Sharpie marker to connect my eyebrows, and I tell everybody that I'm Pakistani online. That really throws them for a loop. Question, do you even have to draw the mustache on? Can't you just hold up a photo of Tom Selleck from 1987, and it'll pass? You'll be passed as a 44-year-old man? I think that works. Somebody try that. Somebody even have a picture of Tom Selleck? Do you even know who Tom Selleck is, guys? What are we doing here? All right, now I have here a online safety organization called Internet Matters, and I can just tell by the title that they are not doing a good job with their $1 million budget. They have a report. They found around half of the children said they had recently been asked to verify their age on a social media or gaming platform. From the sample of 1,000 children, 46% said they believed age checks are easy to bypass, while 32% admitted to having even done so. Researchers also found that 49% of kids say they had encountered harmful content online recently. Wow, only 49%? My goodness, I thought it'd be a lot higher than that. I encounter harmful content online every damn day as I'm researching stories to do this podcast, and I have no idea what the fallout is going to be for my mental health over the long run, but I'm probably sacrificing brain cells for you guys, so I hope you appreciate what I'm doing here. I'm going to end up in an insane asylum, and it's because I'm doing this podcast. All right, well, this report from Internet Matters suggests that what's called the Online Safety Act is beginning to shape children's online environment for the better. but called on the government to hold regulators and platforms to account. So I guess the UK has this Online Safety Act where kids aren't allowed to get on social media sites under age 13, and obviously pornography is over 18. Children are 18 and over. They say children continue to encounter harmful content at unacceptable rates, while age verification measures are often ineffective in practice or very easy to bypass. Well, I mean, does anybody even know how the internet works here? This is how. I mean, you can put all the bypasses you want, but unless you have something scrubbing every new piece of media to decide whether or not accurately it's harmful content. And then the way they categorize harmful content, like they lean heavily on the porn and less heavily on the violence, which to me is just silly. It's just foolish behavior. I think images of violence is going to do a lot more harm to a child than images of naked bodies or, slightly pornographic images. That's just my take on it. Violent images are very destructive, very destructive. And, you can go watch war anytime you want. They're probably not labeling war as being harmful. Nah, it's just war. Kids can handle war, right? Kids can handle images of people blown to bits and cities burning down. I mean, right? I don't know. I don't have children, so maybe I'm not authentic. No, I mean, I'm authentic. That's for sure. I'm too authentic. What I'm saying is maybe I'm not credible. Some of you have kids. What do you think is worse, porn or extreme violence in the form of war, death, and destruction that is constantly in the media every damn day? Now, the government here is consulting over whether to introduce a wide range of age curbs and limitations on social media for under 16s. A Department of Science, Innovation, and Technology spokesperson said the law is crystal clear in demanding platforms protect children from the harmful content. This guy says that companies must stop turning a blind eye while children are exposed to all of the harm. Well, I mean, good luck getting these companies to do it. I mean, these companies are making money. What you're telling them is don't make as much money, basically. What you should be saying is, hey, parents, why don't you start parenting? I mean, isn't that what this all comes down to? Parenting? The world is going to be what it is, and you can't go about it with blinders on. It's not going to save you, all right? Eventually, you're going to be exposed. So this is a parenting issue, I think, at the end of the day. Right. If the parents aren't going to do it, the companies are going to do it. Is that what we want? Is that what we want? We want big companies collecting photos of our kids attached to an IP address? Is that really? You think that's the solution? I mean, consider. We just should think. Like Aretha Franklin said, think about what you're trying to do to me. Yeah, think. Let's go back. Let's go way back. Let's go way back. Way. A man was caught with his pants down, making love to a trash bin. Well, before we judge, what was the bin wearing? Huh? Some of these trash bins are looking real sexy. They're making them colorful and curvy. Have you guys been on that Only Bins app? Oh, boy, they are sexy. Keep them away from the kids, guys. Keep them away. It's harmful content, sexy-ass bins. All the jokes, guys. All the jokes. I don't know if they're any good today. I'm trying. Highly caffeinated, just trying to make it work. This story begins with this sentence. Gotta love it. A creep was caught, quote, having sex with a wheelie bin before eating rubbish out of it. All right. I think that was enough internet for today, guys. What do you think? Should we wrap this up? Do we need to keep going? I don't think so. I don't think it's going to get any better. A clearly mentally deranged individual shagging a trash bin. I assume it was in an alley. Then eating rubbish out of it. Wow. I mean, you thought you had a bad weekend. Did you dry hump a trash bin and then eat a dead rat out of it? I don't think so. So, I mean, at least this makes us feel better about our lives, right? We're not this individual, Craig Proven, who's pretty warped, as it says warped in the article. This guy, Craig, was spotted with his trousers at his ankles, exposing his genitals and thrusting his hips towards the bin. Oh, Craig. We all know it. We all have a Craig in our neighborhood. This guy likes to go around with his trousers down. Every neighborhood has a Florida man, I would say. Likes to go around making love to vacuum cleaners on the sidewalk, or in this case, he was seen making love to what they call a wheelie bin. This is in Scotland. They call them wheelie bins. We call them trash bins with wheels, I guess. Wheelie bin. I guess that's another way to describe it. This guy is 45 years old. He was seen making love to the trash bin and then scoffing cardboard out of the trash during the bizarre incident. I believe scoffing cardboard means he was eating the cardboard like a burrito, maybe folded like a slice of pizza. Maybe he rolled it up like a taquito. I don't know. The Tarbolton man's weird crime. Tarbolton? Tarbolton. That must be a place. Sounds pretty cool. Tarbolton sounds like a planet you would hear in a sci-fi movie or something. I'm from the planet Tarbolton. And they call the people the Tarboltons, and they shoot lightning bolts out of their chins. The Tarboltons. They make love to trash bins, eat cardboard, and that's where they get their power. And then they shoot lightning bolts out of the crack of their behind. They call it the old Tarbolton blast. Okay, I Tarbolton blasted a few toilets. Where am I going with this? The Tarbolton man's weird crime came to light when he appeared in the dock at Air Sheriff Court last week. In the dock? Is that what they call the courtroom? They call it a dock? I got a lot of questions. Well, they call pants trousers, so, anything is possible over there. Craig pleaded guilty to committing an act of public indecency. Yeah, of course, guilty. It's Europe. They all plead guilty. In the States, everybody's innocent, apparently. We got you on video doing XYZ. No, I'm pleading innocent. And now tax dollars go to work now. No, this guy admits it. He's like, yeah, I was shagging a wheelie bin. Shagging a wheelie bin. Making sweet love when I'm going down. Loving a wheelie bin. Now, the prosecutors said that this man living nearby had got up to close his blinds when he observed the accused at the waste bins with his jeans down to his ankles. So this poor innocent bystander had to witness this. The witness said that the man was still wearing his boxer shorts, but that, quote, his penis was exposed and he was thrusting towards the plastic bin. Oh, yeah, you can imagine how good that feels, right? A nice, cold plastic bin. Now, the witness described all of this as, quote, him having sex with the bin. All right, thank you for spelling that out for us. I think we got it. It still doesn't say exactly. Just thrusting against it. He wasn't trying to put it around one of the handles or actually lifting the bin and putting it in the top. There's a lot of ways you can shag a bin, right? Just as there's a lot of ways you can make love to a subway seat, which I've also learned from doing this podcast, which is giving me brain damage. This man was then caught after having sex with the bin, eating cardboard from the bin, as one does. You get a little hungry, you work up a hunger, before the witness shouted at him and called the police. When the cops arrived, they found him in his boxer shorts and, quote, unsteady on his feet. He tried to claim he was standing in his underwear because he had been, quote, showing them his injuries. Now, a defense lawyer named Colin said that Craig, the bin banger, had, quote, an unusual background and conduct, but the defense lawyer did not elaborate any further. I don't think you need to. It's obvious what's going on. This guy, anybody that does that probably has an unusual background and conduct. This isn't the first bin he's molested. Once a bin banger, always a bin banger, they say. Craig avoided being put on the sex offenders register. How? How did Craig avoid that? By the sheriff, whose name is Diane. Sheriff Diane instead slapped him with 50 hours of unpaid work. I guess that means community service. Oh, well, Diane's putting him to work. I wouldn't recommend you putting him in the trash sector of volunteer work. The waste management department, because, he's just going to be at it again. Imagine what this guy's going to do when he sees a dumpster. Oh, my goodness. Well, they interviewed a local resident of the town, asked about what he thought of his fellow Scotsman shagging a wheelie bin. He said, well, it's better than a sheep, I guess. And yeah, he's probably right. It is better than a sheep, because if you're shagging a sheep, the sheeps have souls. You're tainting another soul. So, in the eyes of God, whereas a trash bin doesn't have a soul, so you can shag it all day long, and you're not defouling another soul. This is why I get paid the big bucks, guys. Some of you don't know this. I try not to brag so much on here. I don't like to throw around my success, but I routinely make on this podcast $8.7 $100,000 a year. So, who's humping trash bins now, fools? A ramen-loving grandmother is buried with her favorite cup of noodles as her lovely funeral becomes a snack tribute. Isn't this a lovely upbeat story? I'm going to end on something that's a feel-good story. Now, a grandmother has perished in this story, but the celebration of her life, pretty creative and maybe something we can take note from. It says a grandmother was buried with her favorite instant noodles, and at her funeral, the mourners were given the snack as part of a unique send-off. Her name is Sandra Burnell, 72-year-old from Newport, Wales. She loved a product called Pot Noodle. Never heard of Pot Noodle, but it's a UK brand of instant noodles. So much that it became a defining part of her elaborate funeral service. A lot of people just standing around slurping at some noodles. I'll tell you right now, that's a better noise to hear at the funeral over crying. Noodle slurping, those are happy noises. Those are people, satisfied people enjoying a hot cup of noodles. The Burnells family organized this service that leaned fully into Grandma's favorite food, including burying her with a cup of her favorite beef and tomato flavor, and the snack being featured elsewhere. All right, did this really happen now? I'm wondering if this is just an advertisement for the pot noodle company. It says the order of service, including images of the snack, while mourners were given their own pot noodles to eat or to take home in her memory. Here's a quote from Burnell's daughter, Tracy. She said, with the funeral service, we did a few things around pot noodles. She had some put in her coffin, and her order of service was all decorated with pot noodles as well. The daughter also added that her mom had grown especially fond of the snack in her later years, eating one every single night at 9 p.m. after illness had limited what she could enjoy. There's a quote from the daughter here. I'm going to do my Monty Python lady voice. You guys know the Monty Python lady voice. Please excuse the volume ahead of time. She just really loved pot noodles. I would have a pot now and again as well, because, well, I was there. Every night, she liked to have pot noodle parties. She would have people around who would have a pot noodle with her. She just loved pot noodles. So many pots of noodles. But aren't you concerned about the sodium content? Did they ask her that? I mean, is this what put her over the top? You have this much pot noodle, you're going to just overdose on sodium, and maybe this is what put her in the casket. Now, it says this isn't the first time a funeral has gone viral for unexpected reasons. In February, tourists accidentally crashed a memorial after mistaking it for a buffet, only to be invited to stay and eat anyway. Having buffets at funerals, is that a thing they do in the UK? We don't really do that here. I'm not against it. In fact, I think it should be explored further. Food and drink at a funeral, I think this is the way to do it. I mean, I don't want people just standing around with handkerchiefs in their hands. I want them to be standing around with a tall Guinness or a whiskey sour or something, and eating snacks. How about some delicious spring rolls and some dumplings? I want dumplings at my funeral. If I'm going funeral snack, I'm going dumplings all the way. We're going to have 4 kinds of dumplings, and we're going to have whiskey. Whiskey and dumplings. We could do sake. I'm open for suggestions. Have any of you ever been to a funeral where they were passing out food? I can't remember. I don't think that's ever happened at any of the ones I've been to. All right, well, you heard what I'd serve at my funeral. What would you have at your funeral? It's a very delicate situation, right? Because it's not really something that you can eat sitting down at the funeral, right? It's not really a sit-down event, at least here in the States. So that's why cup of noodles is perfect, because you can stand with your cup and eat it. It doesn't require you to get a plate and sit down. That's why the buffet thing I'm curious about. You can eat dumplings standing, though. It's a small plate. Yeah. It's like an hors d'oeuvre. I think like an hors d'oeuvre size snack is probably appropriate for a funeral. But hey, I'm down for other suggestions, man. I don't know what culture you're in. I don't know how you celebrate the dead, but I'd love to hear about it. My email's funnyjones@gmail.com. Well, give me the weird news to ease my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Hey, baby! What's up, you silly little critters, you weirdos? This is your host, Jonesy, with another another EP of Weird AF News. Thanks for spending some time with me, for sticking around. I want to give a shout out to Eric Best. Eric is the best. How do I know he's the best? Because he bought me 10 coffees. Can you imagine? He went on my website, Weird AF News, clicked on the Buy Me a Coffee banner, and then bought me 10 coffees, which in Los Angeles is the equivalent of buying, I don't know how many coffees, probably 4 or 5. Yeah, they're like $8 here if you get a good one. But anyways, this is a tremendous gift and a donation, and it shows just how supportive that Eric Best is. He even wrote me a really cool note. It says, "Hey, Jonesy, I've been listening to your podcast for several years now. Feel I need to make up for all the enjoyment you've brought into my life from Toronto, Canada." Oh, another Canadian fan. Wow. Got some good ones up there. I mean, all of them, really. I never thought I would be enjoyed in Canada, but apparently I am. I got to get up there. Eric Best, you got to tell me. I got to get a tour going, and you tell me where to go. I mean, obviously, I got to stop in Toronto. They got a good comedy scene, but I also made friends with some comedians from other comedy hubs up there. I can't think of the places. Alberta, yeah, I know a guy from Alberta, and there's another guy I met who's he told me he could get me into a big festival up there. I forget what Edmonton is it? I can't remember. So Edmonton got a big comedy festival. Anyways, Eric probably knows all about this, so we'll have to have some correspondence, buddy. I want to get up there. I got to get up there, do a little tour. It's overdue. It's really overdue. The problem is I'm broke. I'm really broke. But I mean, I probably can get by up in Canada where maybe the dollar goes a little further. I don't know. Maybe a broke guy like me can get somewhere in Canada. I mean, if they'll let me over the border, I mean, I'd imagine Americans aren't too beloved right now up there. So maybe that might have an incident at the border. But anyways, it's on the docket. I'm going to put it on the idea board and we'll revisit it. Shout out to Eric, though, for being so gratuitous and supportive. If you guys ever want to buy me some coffees or join the Patreon, just go to weirdafnews.com. I put a little something in the Patreon today. It's a link to a really cheesy horror movie that I just watched a couple nights ago. So, and you can watch it for free at the link. You see, that's the kind of stuff I put in the Patreon. Like, oh, I saw this weird, crazy, cheesy horror movie. Here's a link to it. Grab your popcorn and enjoy this fun, stupid horror movie. Yeah. Among other things. I post a lot of stand-up video clips in there, too, of my act, if you can tolerate that. So, yeah, consider joining the Patreon, you guys, you listeners out there. Support the show, keeping it moving. I think that was it for all the announcements. Yeah, you got my email, too. I'm on Instagram, @FunnyJones, if you want to see what's going on. As I mentioned in yesterday's show, I'm going to be going up to the Bay this weekend, doing shows in Oakland and San Francisco and Burlingame. So those are the places I'll be going to. All that information is on my Instagram, @FunnyJones. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow for another episode of Weird AF News, and good luck with your life, man.